minbar. At last, he was able to study firsthand the work of the master, to get inside the mind of the man whose designs he must somehow emulate. Confident that he now fully understood the task ahead, Minbar finalized the designs for the minbar. In all, the competition required 3 submissions, testing different aspects of the design. After more than 20 years of waiting, there were to be no mistakes. Minbar triumphed in every part of the contest. The new minbar would be built to his design.
We couldn't find anyone in the world to do it except him. And he worked it out from first principles. And he was completely new, but he knew that he'd studied sacred geometry, and he knew how it had to be done. There was only one way it could possibly be done. And when the competition was announced, he took it upon his own initiative, having studied sacred art, to enter the contest, and he won. And then there was another contest, because nobody could believe that this engineer knew the secret, and much more experienced engineers didn't know. So they agreed to another contest, and he also won that as well. And so eventually they gave it to him.
The Prince's School in Shoreditch was so impressed by Minbar's achievement that he was invited to submit his winning designs as the basis for a PhD, an invitation that Minbar readily accepted.
I got fascinated by the book and fascinated by the man who wrote it. So I wanted to meet Keith since that time, because I thought this man knows a lot more than what's in that book. Professor Keith, Master of Geometry.
Lovely to see you.
It's good to see you. How are you?
Come on down and use this room here now. Not too much trouble on the flight?
No, not really.
Would you like to sit there?
Keith is fascinating. He's dynamic, and he doesn't stress his point of view. He just points certain things and certain facts and truths of geometry.
I shall be most interested. So maybe you could show me the big ones you've done.
What I brought here, they're not too big, but at least they explain certain things. But they'll be drawn to the craftsman one-to-one on pieces. This is a drawing of the whole minbar. The 2 sides of it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
For Keith Critchlow, Minbar's meticulous, harmonious drawings are a triumph.
Because of the science of geometry, everything fit in the exact, precise place. I was fairly confident that everything will fit in, because I knew that in geometry it's an objective art.
Exactly, sure.
On the other side, we find the same story, but told in a different shapes.
Different shapes, yes.
As we've analyzed this one to be the mean orbit of Mercury,
right. Yes,
and the mean orbit of the Earth, and the mean orbit of Jupiter.
Fantastic.
But here on this diagram, this square is really, I think, the relationship between Earth and the Moon.
Right, right.
If they're put together, the Moon would fit exactly here on the sides, and it would draw this square
wonderful,
here.
Wonderful.
And it's just amazing. And these are the different photographs where we took the patterns from, and this is where the door, this is the inside of the door, and this is the outside, with 2 different patterns.
I remember, it's a beautiful pattern, that one.
These drawings show with great detail, extraordinary detail and clarity, how every single element of the minbar was to be reconstructed. This is an insight into the mindset of 12th century Islam. So these are the external details, and then you turn over and you've got what happens behind them. These are the structural pieces of wood that hold the decorative details together. So here's the engineering, each piece carefully numbered. And here we've got lots of little decorative motifs with inlay of ebony and ivory, which occur at certain points in the geometry. In all, this book contains instructions for the making of over 16,000 pieces of wood. This was a really remarkable design project.
Minwar had cracked the code of Saladin's minbar, and every detail of the design was complete. But how was the minbar to be built? The crisis of the reconstruction had revealed not only a crucial shortage of designers, but an equally acute lack of fine craftsmen.
You could solve the puzzle on paper. Now, to construct it is even a more difficult job. It's really an intricate work, extremely difficult. So we needed craftsmen specialized in all the different arts. One can find them in the minbar.
Minwar cast his net wide. By early 2003, he had assembled skilled craftsmen from Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, and Indonesia. They came together at the college at Al Salt, where a workshop had been dedicated to the building of the minbar. Under King Abdullah II's sponsorship, the building of the minbar began.